Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day. I was just sitting here on my couch thinking about this birthright citizenship removal, and I was watching a video talking about the statistics of what would happen to people if that law was put in effect. And a part of me thought at first was like, well, if people are coming in having a baby, then their baby would be an American citizen. And I was like, that could be confusing. But then I thought to myself, after hearing these statistics, about 150,000 to 200,000 babies born each year would be losing their citizenship because that's about how many people are born here. Well, the thing about that happening is two things. If you guys do some research on Japan right now and a couple of other civilizations, what's happening is they're having a gap between the old and young. They're not repopulating properly, and the civilization could die out. I don't want to necessarily say die out, but get smaller and smaller until it just becomes like compact, so to speak. Well, the thing about that is that could happen in America. With the more technology that comes out and information, and the more people become educated, the less likely they're less likely there to have fatalities with birth and children and stuff like that. But also, the less likely they're to take traditional roles. And so, if you let's say take a woman for example, if women were, traditionally taking care of households, and if men were traditionally working, you're seeing an influx of that institution change recently, and I believe that's because of education and technology. Now, I'm not saying that's bad or good, but what is bad is if all those children are no longer recognized as citizens and the parents aren't citizens and or immigrants trying to become citizens, the first thing that popped up into my head was boom, pedophiles. And I was like, what? If you have a whole bunch of unregistered children running around, it's trafficking. All they have to do is go and try to kidnap somebody's kids. The parents either aren't going to get help. If they do go get help, they're going to get detained, and or they're fearing for their getting detained so they don't go get help. And you got a whole bunch of unregistered, undocumented children being trafficked and ran around. If it were up to me, I would go and find everybody and make them citizens. And then I would begin to increase security after that. And the only reason I say security is because there are institutions where you don't just want people coming in, just like a house, right? And a fence in a yard. You don't want people blindly coming into where you don't know what's going on. You want to have tabs on it. Why do you think they let people gamble in certain places and or sell pharmaceuticals or weed? Those are drugs because it's regulated. You want the weed to be regulated and not have a whole bunch of shit laced inside of it. You see what I'm saying? That's common sense and logic. But in terms of taxes, I'm not going to get into taxes in this video because you guys are doing the same thing from England, which will lead me to believe that you guys don't have any other default. Sometimes when they talk about stereotypes, they can be harmful, but it's not always a stereotype. If a bunch of people do something, that's not a stereotype. You're getting offended because you do something, and when somebody else points it out, it hurts your feelings. I don't understand. That's what the prophets used to do. Now, if you're blatantly going and just doing it to be funny and go hurt people and try to make like bully friends, I guess, then you're stupid because you're wasting your space time. Yeah, pedophilia, man. That's why people are doing this. I'm telling you, there's a bunch of creepy pedophiles out there. That senator pick who was trying to get put into the White House, who was buying 17-year-olds. Bro, who goes out of their way and does that? You're rich. What are you doing? So, no, hell no. I'm glad the judges turned that order down. And there's a bunch of other stuff that's happening. And y'all, like the dude that's shrilling on the African Diaspora channel, that Phil dude, man, I can't stand him. He talked all that shit about Kamala, and now he's running his mouth about Trump. I'm telling you what the news does, all the news media stations. And what they fail to realize is, eventually what's going to happen is this country is going to crumble because of Trump's stupidity. This man just canceled a bunch of aviation safety and a bunch of aviation programs. And then two planes collide into each other, a plane and a military helicopter. They canceled all these programs before COVID happened, dealing with pandemics and emergency reliefs. Then all of a sudden a virus comes out and all these people die and they have no idea what they're doing. He gets on TV talking about, well, you know, if bleach kills germs, maybe in light, COVID doesn't like light, like fungal infections and stuff, they like damp areas, then maybe we should inject bleach in light. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know if they're playing with electronic, because honestly, they were talking about all these bots that was on Twitter, all these bots that are on these platforms. You guys are arguing and talking to bots. I'm telling you, you are. And then in the real world, everybody's like, we'll mega. No. These people are not as smart as they look. Okay, so Bill Gates and Elon Musk both do the same thing. They had a documentary about it talking about Steve Jobs. They pay people, they're contractors, they pay people to do tech stuff, scientific stuff. Then they get in the news like, yeah, we're smart and we do this. He's like P. Diddy jumping in all the fucking videos. So I'm telling y'all, they're not smart. They're oligarchs. They're elites. They're people that are seductive. The year of the snake. They sneak in, do certain things, take positions of power, and then when they have the resources, they rape and molest the innocent and poor. And this shit stops now. You're not doing nothing to birthright citizenship, and you're gonna be stopped. This shit don't make no sense. There was a set amount of punishments for people that don't listen and people that try to rob elections, but y'all have taken this shit too far. A lot of these people online are bots, and y'all need to stop arguing with them. I honestly believe this election was stolen. Elon Musk's machine, Starlinks, are the ones that was counting votes in swing states. Y'all got people on the news, y'all got people on these videos crying and hollering. I don't honestly believe none of this stuff. To me, it's like wrestling at this point. I don't believe in it. How all these people, soon as a person gets in office, all just change like a light bulb. Y'all are psychotic and sociopaths. And so this shit needs to change. The only thing I have a will to do anymore is even write poetry. So today, honestly, because I just watched somebody named Eric Mays, the Michigan, the people that are put in office to do dumb shit and talk stupid. That shit infuriated me. I started listening to metal and screaming because I can't take it no more. Birthright citizenship was for slaves, children of slaves. That's what Trump just said. Call me a slave one more motherfucking time. You German motherfucking moron. You goddamn Mandarin Orange. You fucking idiots. Call me a slave one more fucking time. Call my parents and grandmother children of slaves one more time. And I'm going to show you the power of retribution. I don't have the, because when I try to live my life, advertisements, emergency broadcasts, commercials I'm tired of hearing it. Europe was putrid back then. It's putrid now. The Africans and everybody else are tired of it. And all you Africans that keep shrilling for Europe, pop, you look fucking ridiculous, like clowns with big ass shoes and red noses. Go on, Rudolph. Them people are putrid and mindless. The way they act for their right-wing agendas and all this psycho shit about hating everybody else on the planet for their pure blood race that learned everything from every other culture because they was getting colonized by Romans and being taught civilization. The Spaniards were not white. The Greeks were not white. Stop showing those evolution pictures where it's a bunch of monkeys, some random Arab man, and a white man in a suit. It's all propaganda. You're Homo sapiens. The Neanderthals and the other ones obviously became hominids, humans. us humans from a common source in Africa, hominids, still have living ancestral ties to the Bantu tribes over 300,000 years ago. Nobody else has that. We're not tribal. Let me hear Dude say one more thing about a slave or a child of a slave, or reparations for another race of people. And I'm going to write something. I'm going to write y'all an offer y'all can't refuse. The dude canceled all this airplane safety, and then there was a fucking airplane crash. I have had dream after dream after dreams. And one of them dreams years ago, they're on these videos. It's talking about how there was an airplane, how an airplane did a U-turn for some reason from the progression it was making, and then all of a sudden it just crashed. And the parking lot I was in, I was like, what the f, and started running, and like random agents started following me. So, I don't know. I don't know what none of this means. They're dreams. But obviously, y'all MAGA people, you keep fucking around and you're gonna find out. Y'all are playing a dangerous game. Removing their safety parameters are set in place for a reason. Stop fixing things that ain't broke. Have a nice day.